Few people laughed, few people cried. Most people were silent. I remember the line from Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty. To impress him, takes on its multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all felt that one way or another.
This morning, I woke up to Candace Owens being outside of my house with a news crew. She was demanding that I come outside.
Hello. I was just looking to speak to whoever is at this property because it's listed as the Black Lives Matter property. Sir? Hello?
The fact that she's came outside my house and demanded things, harassed me, is unacceptable.
We're not trying to harass you. We'll gladly leave. We're just wondering if we can speak to anybody.
Y'all, I really need my family to be safe. I need to be safe. I need my child to be safe. And this, what happened this morning is not safety.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Sorry for the slightly impromptu start. Unfortunately, I've had a call. Hassan is not going to be able to make it. He's going through something. He looked a little bit upset, or sounded a little upset, but we're going to carry on. And if anybody wants to jump on, they can do. I've put the link in the YouTube chat. So, but it doesn't matter. I've got a lot of information to share with you anyway. So the video that you've just been watching is the lady on the left-hand side. I'm going to play it again. Is the Black Lives Matter spokesperson, if that's her job title. But anyway, Candace Owens, who is a lovely conservative lady, went to a property that was registered. bought with the millions of pounds donated to Black Lives Matter. Looks like a very white neighborhood as well. Anyway, Candace Owens, big up Candace Owens, went to the property and said, excuse me, I'm just coming to check what this property is about. It's been bought by donations. And then the Black Lives Matter lady, and I don't know her name, made up lies saying that my life is I fear for my life and I need help. Anyway, let's play it again because it's though it's not comical, it's interesting to see how these people, these communists, anti-Western people operate.
Morning, I woke up to Candace Owens being outside of my house.
So whoever compiled the video obviously have taken this lady's video and Candace Owens' video and put it parallel. Let's go.
The news crew. She was demanding that I come outside.
Hello. I was just looking to speak to whoever is at this property because it's listed as the Black Lives Matter property. Sir? Hello?
The fact that she's came outside my house and demanded things, harassed me, is unacceptable.
We're not trying to harass you. We'll gladly leave. We're just wondering if we can speak to anybody.
Y'all, I really need my family to be safe. I need to be safe. I need my child to be safe. And this, what happened this morning is not safety.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
That in one video is Black Lives Matter and the shenanigans that they have created. Now, somewhere, once upon a time, that probably could have been a worthwhile movement. But of course, with all these type of movements, people just want to get rich or they just want to propel their own agenda forward. And that lady has been caught out. So again, unfortunately, everybody, Hassan has had to cancel today's appearance. Not to worry, we'll get him back on in the future. I am opening up the panel, I should rather say, to anybody who wants to jump on. Plenty of information to be shared in the meantime. I'm hoping Wendy will be about because I have a special video for Wendy, the evidence denier. I have a couple of videos to share with her, so let's see if she jumps on. So over to the next video.
And surveilled by the government. And sometimes it takes far too long to be able to clear those matters.
I think we've been joined by somebody. Let me see who this person is.
All right, mate. How you doing?
Hello, good evening, sir. How are you?
No bad, mate. No bad. Just found your channel there, so I thought I'd jump in and see what's happening in here.
Absolutely. Why don't you introduce yourself? You don't have to tell us your real name, but if you want to introduce yourself so we know what to refer to you by.
My name is Hung Drawn and Quartered, and you can call me Hung.
I was not expecting that. That was pretty cool. So tell us a little bit about your name. I'm assuming that you're not much of a pansy. That you tell it how it is.
That is 100% correct. I'm just trying to. I've only been back on YouTube for a wee bit. I took a sabbatical, an extended sabbatical for a couple of years. But since I've came back, it's changed quite a lot, and it seems to be extremely Antarctic in its nature of snowflakiness. So I'm struggling.
They've banned so many of the alpha males, unfortunately. So everyone's a bit wishy-washy. But we've got Base Welshman in the background. Base Welshman, do you know you have your camera on?
Base Welshman's cool, man. He's my pal.
I'm bringing you on. I'm assuming that you do know.
That's fine.
Hello, good evening, sir.
How you doing, mate? Oh, wait there. Let me sort my mic out.
Okay, no problem.
Go on, Welshie.
So tell us a little bit. So I've not come across you before, Mr. Hung. So tell us a little bit about. Never thought I'd say that before, but tell us a little bit about your politics, where you stand. At a guess, I would say you're a conservative.
Mate, I'm quite weird with all my political and stances on things in life because I'm a bit of a free spirit in terms of I just do me. So I'm either impartial or ambivalent, but I'll listen to both sides. I just don't like the idea of that someone that has to be a prerequisite, whether you're left, right, up, down, whatever it may be, winged. I think you should just be able to be whatever you want to be and pick and choose little bits and kind of put it all together like a transformer to make the ideal path going forward for society and stuff.
All right, well, that's a good explanation. So you're obviously a Scotsman. What's it like? I'm going to say something ridiculous, and it is ridiculous, but I'm going to say it. I've actually never been.
Say we're good at football?
No, no. Well, I used to be. I've actually never been to Scotland.
What?
Exactly, I told you. Even though I love a good Glenfiddich, I've never been to Scotland, and I'm a little bit embarrassed of that. Tell me, apart from Edinburgh, where do I need to go if I ever make it that far?
Mate, Edinburgh doesn't count, man. We hate Edinburgh, so Glasgow's the only place in Scotland that really matters because Edinburgh's crap, and up north is just chuchters that walk about with sheep and goats, so they're crap as well. It's just Glasgow is the whole of Scotland, basically.
Hey, leave the sheep alone. Leave the sheep alone.
Okay, Base Welshman, you've got your mic sorted out. Why don't you, at least before you put yourself on mute, give us a quick hello and tell us how you've been?
Yes, not bad. Manny, I see you've been doing quite regular lives now, so I'm always looking out for them.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I did watch some of your videos that you uploaded recently. Did you have a good time at Telford when you went for the second time?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was a good day. I was disappointed with the turnout. I expected more, but then when you don't really arrange it very well, Tommy Movement, of all their faults, arranging times and the correct dates seem to be a big fault. Seems to be a big problem sometimes. And that's so important, is get the date right, etc. You know what I mean? Get it so it doesn't clash with other things. Because he said that the turnout wasn't as good because the football season again, and there was football games on. Well, you got to sort it out and try and do it so it doesn't affect. You know what I mean? Because obviously it did.
I got married in 2006, and rather stupidly, I said okay to get married on the day of an England match. I just didn't look at the calendar, and since that day, I've actually that was a lesson for me. I've never made that mistake again. So
but you don't get married 4 times a year, do you?
Not anymore, no.
See, well, the thing is, the Tommy Movement sort these events out 4 times a year, and they always fucking do it on the wrong weekends. It always seems to be.
Mr. Hung, tell us, are you a pro or anti-Tommy person?
Tommy Robinson?
Yes.
Well, do you know, I've kind of heard more and more little bits of the kind of, when you scratch the surface of kind of what he's on about and who he is, and little things going on behind the scenes that I've heard in the last couple of weeks. So I think my balance is slightly moving away from, again, I go back to what I said before. I think parts of what he says has merit, but then again, I think other parts, not so much, and just sounds like shit. So I think it's a kind of balancing act. So I'm not sure. I'm on the fence.
Sure. All right, that's fair enough. Base Welshman, where are you at the moment with your ranking of Mr. Robinson?
Well, remember, I've been. I mean, Tommy got me into the movement, as a rule, in 2017 after the Manchester bombing. But I mean, I will say this: the transparency and the organisation, it's got to be pushed forward and it's got to be made right. Because then that way, then it's transparent. You know what I mean? It's clear. Yeah, and one of the major things is always organisation problems for them. I'm not an organizer. I don't pretend to be one, but when you're doing something like that, it needs to be tighter. It needs to be correct. Everything needs to be transparent. Otherwise, you're just going to get people that will, say other stuff and just muddies the waters all the time. And I don't think that's what the movement needs. And I'll
Yeah.
also say it. I'll also say it now with the patriotic alternative turning up at Telford. So my opinion, when I found out, I was confused because at the time I filmed it, obviously, and
Well, thanks for letting us use the footage, by the way.
yeah, I know you threat. And I was catching up on your stream, and I thought, fuck me, that's my footage. He's used my footage. And yeah, and I looked. You didn't credit me. I thought I'd just have a dig at you. I'll have a dig, and then you credit me.
No, you were right to do so because I did intend to, but when I was making my notes for the show, I didn't write it down. So
Yeah,
I
it's easy done.
played 3 videos. I think I credited the first one and the next 2, which was one of yours. I didn't. So apologies, but I made up for it the following week.
Yeah. I mean, my attitude was, I was filming, I got close to him and everything. I was usually the closest person filming to them. But I realised there wasn't any threat. I could just tell. And in fact, one of them told me to watch out. There's a car right behind me when I was like backing up filming them. So that's not a sort of Antifa sort of, thing, even though they were masked up. But when I found out what happened, I thought, well, what did they expect that, the Tommy movement would do? I mean, and it's all well and good saying Tommy supporters are thugs, etc. Well, what? Seriously, what were they expecting? That's, whether I think that if they want to turn up, that's I understand them turning up, but at this event, doing this with Tommy's lot, they know they're going there to do one thing, to promote patriotic alternative, which is fair enough. But to do that at the Tommy movement, they're going to get a reaction. So I don't understand how they expected a different reaction.
I think what's happened is that this Nazi patriotic alternative, which is how I view them, they've had a lot of not a lot. They've had some success by radicalizing some Tommy Robinson fans, followers over the last few years, and as a consequence, they've become a little bit braver and a little bit more kind of full on. And I think that was their attempt to stepping up to the plate, as they probably were telling each other when they arrived. But when on the previous Telford, when I went on stage and I said a few words, I don't know if you heard it at the time, but
yeah, it is. Yeah,
there was a group at the back. As I'm looking on the stage towards the left, but definitely at the back, shouting profanities at me. And I knew instantly from the wording that they were using that was patriotic alternative.
See, I didn't hear. I watched you, but I watched it later on. But I didn't. I heard there was a group there after. I didn't see him at the time. Not good, is it?
It's not good. And the thing is, when these type of groups grow, there's a lot of elements to this. First and foremost, the lefties and the crazies have been calling conservative groups racist, they're calling them extremists, far right, and all this other thing. Now the actual far right have turned up, right? And they're still not going to change their tone. And as a consequence, these extreme groups are going to get away with God knows what. But the biggest thing they're going to get away with, again, making the genuine people's movement and the genuine people's voice to come across as an extremist thing. And they're not. I mean, these Tommy Robinson events, they're not extreme. They're just trying to say, look, there's something to be done here. But even I get called all types of things, just like anybody else that attends. these movements, and the thing is, it's all false. And me attending there and meeting so many people is just one of the many reasons that's proven that.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy seems to attract working class people that are quite often female, quite often quite older as well, in their 40s and 50s. There's it's not just a football laddie sort of movement, the Tommy movement anymore. It really isn't. It's quite wide ranging in the age groups, especially.
Yeah, but some of those middle-aged women are a wee bit rough around the edges, man.
Oh yeah, I get that. But I have noticed in the last two Telford occasions, there's been some more fit girlfriends turn up.
Oh,
because obviously, the matter affects them as well. You know what I mean? The mothers or young mothers, etc. So yeah, I think the movement's got a bit more fitty recently in the last two, but I don't think that was the purpose.
I will say this. Hung, Drawn and Quartered mentioned earlier that the group there's a resistance growing against the autonomy movement. Obviously, we've had one of the leading members come on to this channel and say their bit. Andy, that came on here a few weeks ago. I will say this, that it's very important that we continue to not allow any kind of conspiracies or facts, whatever they are, to muddy the waters, in the sense that what Tommy Robinson's campaign is really about is pointing out the crimes of grooming gangs. And even Andy said that is 100% true. That is all going on. What seems to be the grey area is what's happening to the funds. Now, if I was part of the Tommy movement team, and I'm not, it would be easy for me to do this. I would very easily already have the ability to do this, is create a token which allows any donators to follow where their money is, where it's gone, what it's been spent on, and have that verification. It's very simple to do. It doesn't require high level of coding. It's an off-the-shelf product that I have access to. I think that would be a complete solution. And like Andy said, that if that was to happen, then he wouldn't really have an argument anymore. Do you guys think that would work?
Well, yeah, there needs to be some transparency, and I'm sure it's already out there. That sort of thing, anyway. Like you said.
Well, that was what I'd heard about, stuff to do with the money trail and things like that, and that's the kind of negative slant that I've been hearing recently.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I saw one picture posted by Public Annoyance, and he had Tommy Robinson holding a dog, and then he had Danny Roscoe, Danny Roscoe was on here as well a couple of weeks ago, and he had Danny Roscoe's face on the dog. Now, I don't have any emotional attachment to these guys, but I just thought that was a bit offensive. Like, I didn't really like that type of post. Fine, you have an issue with Danny and he says things about you, but making these type of things, I thought wasn't a bit OTT as far as I was concerned.
Do you know what, Manny? I get involved, like you said, in lives. I get involved like with the movement, and I get involved with, like, I just don't get that involved in all the politics bullshit. In the sense, I literally just say fuck you. They do, what lives are like, and be toxic. And I said, not fucking interested. What are you going to tell me about so-and-so's missus or girlfriend? Do you know what? Fuck off.
Yeah.
And I walk away, and that's the way I try and do. Keep that sort of personal vendetta and issues out of the way, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the right way to do. And what I don't understand, increasingly, we're seeing when people are attacking each other, they're not actually attacking each other's politics or even the individual. They seem to be going after members of their family, seems to be going after things that are personal. I don't get that. I wasn't brought up like that. I can't understand people why they would do that. And the thing is, it's only getting worse. We don't seem to be getting more intelligent in terms of conversation and discord. We seem to be going backwards.
Yeah, I think there's proof that we are going backwards. Our development in the last 50 years has gone backwards, I believe. And that's a break of the trend.
Have you ever been to Scotland, Base Welshman?
Yeah. I've been to watch internationals up there. Only
Fuck's sake.
only the once. But we drove up and we drove back, and it was fucking carnage. Like 10
Yeah.
hours or 12 hours or something stupid.
Well, according to Hung, the only place to go in Scotland is Glasgow.
Yeah, I went to Edinburgh, of course, didn't I? Because that's the rugby, isn't it?
Oh, the rugby. Sound.
It's the tourist town in Scotland, isn't it? Edinburgh, see, isn't it? That's how you see it. Is it? Yeah.
It's just full of tourists, man.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, I thought that was the case. The tourist thing, isn't it? It's like fucking for the locals. It's like, yeah, you go to fucking like Barry Island or whatever. You go to the touristy area, and we'll just fucking carry on where we are.
How come we don't have a? Do we not have a Speaker's Corner version up here?
I know there's one in Manchester and Liverpool. I'm sure there's one in Manchester and Liverpool, and it wouldn't surprise me if there is in Scotland.
Never heard anything like that up here.
Because if it's there, the funny thing, if there is a Speaker's Corner there, Manny, right, you can turn around then, and if you did speak in that area, then it's a precedent that it's already there. It's already been there. Do you know what I mean? And you can make a stand there.
That's right. Yeah, and there's definitely one in Manchester. I concur with that. I wasn't aware of one in Liverpool, but yeah, I look into the one in Scotland as well. Scottish people know how to speak their mind.
Aye, but we are now the most restricted country in the fucking United. By the way, can you swear on here, mate? Because I usually get kicked out because I fucking swear on that. Can I swear?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Of course you can, yeah.
All right, cool. Aye, we're the most restricted fucking country in the UK, man, with speech and that now. We Jimmy Cranky, Sturgeon, the wee Lesbo slags, fucked us up.
Yeah.
Fish lips. For these gagging orders on us now, man. We can't say fuck out to anybody anymore.
So what's the Muslim MP's name again? I forget his name. The one who drives a scooter through Parliament.
What? Is there?
Yeah, you know the one that spoke in Parliament, and he said Scotland's like racist. He said because the Home Secretary's white, the Prime Minister's white. What? You know the guy that said that, the MP?
Oh no, I've not seen that, man.
Yeah, he's a Labour MP, isn't he? Let me see if I can find it.
SNP, he must be SNP. You know it, do you, Manny?
Yeah, I know that guy, yeah.
Just put down white. Just put down white for everything. Say, because that's what he was doing, really. He's the guy that set it up, I believe. I'm not 100%, but he's the crazy one. They're all crazy up there. I tell you another story I watched the other day, chaps. They done a freedom of information request about some deal the SNP government did. They redacted about 80% of the documents. And the funny thing was, the MP on the opposition, I think he was Conservative, said, the funny thing is, whoever redacted this information, when you photocopy it, you can see what it says. And in the statement, it says, don't make this public because it looks like we're going to get sued. Can't make it up.
Why do they do that so much with these documents? I mean, there can't be that much sensitive fucking information in them that they're that paranoid about redacting everything.
Yeah, but there was lots of dodgy evidence in the redacted. And the funny thing, you can't make it up because I was going to court last year for walking my dog during Kung Flu, and I had some medical records and I redacted everything I didn't need to, everything. And of course, when I pulled it out with a marker, you could see the print underneath. So then I photocopied it, and the photocopy sort of killed it, so you couldn't see what was underneath. But like, who does this? Like a freedom of information for like something important like that? It's crazy.
And see Speaker's Corner, right? See in London, is there actually like? Does it stand alone? Like, is there actually laws or like some kind of map thing that says this wee bit of land or this wee thing is different for the surrounding area or something? Does it have
No, it's nothing like that. It's just the police tend to police the Speaker's Corner part of it.
Triangle.
Slightly in a tamer sense, just because it's a bit of a tourist attraction. But yeah, there's no laws whatsoever. If you commit a crime and get to court, you'll be treated just like the rest of us.
Oh, see, I
You
thought
won't
if
get
you went
treated.
Speaker's Corner, you could say anything.
You can.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
but you
anything.
can say anything anywhere anyway.
No,
You-
you
you-
can't. You can't say, I hate it so and so. I want to kill such and such.
But that's
Yeah,
threats of violence. That's threats of
you can't
violence.
say that at Speaker's Corner either.
That's what I was
threats of
asking. I
violence.
thought you might be able to. I thought Speaker's Corner might have been this
No.
wee sacred thing that you could say anything.
No.
No.
It's a place. It's a place traditionally where you can discuss your opinions and views, isn't it, Manny?
That's
Basically.
right. That's right. It's over the years. It's become somewhere where people go to raise public awareness to their cause. That's what it was supposed to be, where people could debate. But unfortunately, over the years, it's become a turf of religious warfare, where Muslims can't understand free speech because it's not part of their religion or culture. And then Christians have become very hardlined, and they've practically, in some cases, though very few cases, have become very Muslim in their behaviour as well. Though I think that's more of a response. I don't know. I don't really get into the whole religious.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a crazy Christian African walking around saying Momo's a pedo is always going to get some Muslims to bite. It literally is. He's literally walking around the park, around the corner, and he's saying that. Now, I'm not saying that they should at all, but being who they are, they can't control their anger, they can't control their actions, and that's what they did. They attacked them, didn't they?
Yeah, are you talking about that recent, the African?
Yeah,
I mean,
2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago.
Did it proper kick off, eh?
Yeah, they punched him and everything. He got slapped. There was another chap. There was a Shia the other day. There was a Shia, and he was cursing out the Sunnis, and the Sunnis are generally quite violent down there. They seem to rule the roost down there. The Sunnis, is that correct, Manny? Would I say that?
Shias. He was a Shia. The guys, the guys were Sunnis.
Yeah, but it's the Sunnis that like sort of rule the roost down Speaker's Corner, and not the Shias, is it?
That's right. Yes, that's
yeah. So basically, then he got slapped, and then like 5 kids attacked him from all angles, like for I don't know, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. He was fine, but you know.
Has there ever been anything worse historically?
Yeah.
Has it been killed or stabbed or anything?
Yeah, I've been attacked down there.
Christian lady called Hatun. She's been stabbed.
Jesus.
Yeah. Stabbed just in the side of a temple. Lily
fucking hell.
That was last year. If you put down Hatton attacked Speaker's Corner, you'll see it. Hatton, Haton, attacked Speaker's Corner. Boom.
Fucking hell, man.
And you'll see it. She's been attacked a few times, so you might have to put down stabbed. But I've been attacked down there.
Of Islam in the world today is not the apostate prophet.
I won't put the volume on, but I'll try to get to the
Hatun Tash. Is that her?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, that was the slap. That was just.
That was a slap.
That was the first.
With blood all over.
Well, this is the stabbing here.
Stabbing.
Or maybe we've missed it there. Go back a bit.
Yeah, just go back 10. So yeah, he's the one with the hood on. I think he's not the one you can see. He's in the background somewhere. I think, if I remember rightly. There he is.
Well, that's Hatun. There you go.
There you go. Look at that.
Oh, fuck, man.
So look how close the police are. Look how close the police are. The police were there within 3 seconds.
Jesus.
He repeatedly tries stabbing her.
I hope he get done with attempt murder or something, man.
He's still free. He's still free.
What?
Now the funny thing about that, of course, is there's a lot of eyewitnesses there, and somehow they didn't really get the response, should we say, they were expecting, because they seem to be quite lacking on, should we say, information of the attacker.
How is that guy not in the jail, man? Fucking hell.
Because some people talk and some people don't.
But it's on camera, man. It's fucking. That's incredible, man.
They can find Saddam Hussein hiding in a little rat hole in the middle of a desert somewhere, but they couldn't find him in London. You know, where there's more cameras than there are people. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we want. Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, straight away when it happened, they were right behind him, and somehow he managed to run out of speakers, get to fucking Marble Arch, and somehow either go down the tube or go towards Oxford Street. But either way, or Mayfair, we don't know. But there shouldn't be any way he could have got away. That's all the coppers got to do is keep reasonably close to him and radio for CCTV and backup.
Oh, I thought you meant he'd been caught and he's been released without charge or something.
No, he managed to get he managed to get away. There's a couple of camera angles where you see the copper go down the lane, stop and the guy's not far in front of him.
Jesus, you think with all the cameras they would attract him somehow, man?
Well, yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
That's incredible, man.
But
what was the kind of spark of it? Is she against what they're going on about or what?
She's like she rips pages out the Quran and stuff.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. I would say that would trigger him, wouldn't you?
Apparently so. A wee fucking book, you know what I mean? Nobody else cares, but they do.
But there you go. But there's been a lot of attacks, and not, you know, sometimes it's just Muslims on Muslims, or it's Muslims on Christians, or that type of thing. But it's always the Muslims that are doing the attacking.
Yeah.
You know, we have to call the duck a duck.
It's normally the Sunnis having to go with the Shias, or the Muslims having to go with the Christians.
Yeah. And that's not us trying to be kind of mean to the Muslim community. It's just a fact, unfortunately. And generally, the Muslim community do stand against free speech. They're not free speech advocates. Yeah. They just can't deal with free speech, and they don't want to deal with free speech. And that's just a prime example of how a lot of the non-British cultures don't really have a place in the British culture, whether it's the Scottish culture, the English culture, or you know, a medium culture of the two, or the Welsh culture. There is no synergy, it would seem. In my opinion, I wish there was, and there probably would have been a few years ago. But I just feel that a lot of the religious groups are getting more extreme. Why that is, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of violence. It's not safe in Speaker's Corner anymore. And Hatun said that she's been harassed and abused for a number of years. I interviewed Hatun in 2019 or 18. I think she came onto my channel, and she was being abused and attacked back then on a consistent basis. I'm not saying once a week or anything like that, like literally all the time. And one of the occasions I did witness it, and that's why I asked her to come on. So it's not a safe place to be.
Yeah.
What's it like in Scotland? Is it nice and safe, or what's it like there?
It depends, mate. As long as you're not after, you're all right. Do you know what I mean? It's like as long as you're not an idiot, then you're sound. But as I say, it's the race stuff up here is not. Well, I don't know. I don't really see much. See, to be honest, but mate, I'm probably not the best person to ask this because I don't know. You might think I'm weird, but I don't believe in racism. I don't believe it exists. I don't believe in any obics. I don't believe in any isms. All I believe in is different people's opinions on other things in life. So to me, if someone doesn't like someone because of the colour of their skin or who they shag, then that's just their opinion. In my opinion, they shouldn't be pigeonholed or scrutinised or whatever for that in the same way that the other people shouldn't. It should just be a case of you should be allowed to not like people or not like things in life, and you should be allowed to vocalise that, I think, too. And if it ends up in violence, then so be it. That's just how nature works, man.
Well, they have now decided that taking the piss out of a ballsy person is hate speech.
Mate, I heard something about in London you can't even look at somebody, and now it's an offence if you stare at somebody too long.
Yeah, staring.
Like, I mean, what the fuck is going on? I just think you should be allowed to do whatever you want, as long as you're not hurting people, like killing people and whatever else, or sex crimes and stuff like that. Then you should be allowed to say whatever you want. What it's just words. Do you know what I mean? It's just words.
But it's virtue signaling. That's what I believe, man. I think it's virtue signaling because I don't believe that this train staring is a serious problem. But what I do think is a serious problem is sexual assaults, maybe on the train, or safety in general for males and females out and about.
Of course.
But of course they want to go on this like staring thing. If you stare for too long, this could be seen as sexual harassment. You're like, what? I was thinking, I was looking in her direction, but I was like fucking, not even, you know what I mean? It's like,
What if you've got a lazy eye?
Yeah, it's impossible to police. You know, I used to go out with a girl that we used to call home and away. She had one eye going one eye going the other. She's fit though. But yeah, yeah, it's just nonsense. This is virtue signaling nonsense again, isn't it?
Correct.
I haven't been to Wales for a while, Base Welshman. I used to go to. I did a lot of business in Cardiff and a fair bit in Swansea, but
Yeah.
I haven't been for a while. What I found a bit weird that bit of the journey between Cardiff and Swansea, it would rain about 17 times and stop, and the sun would come out, and then it would rain again, and you think, God, I'm in monsoon season in India, and then it would stop and the sun would come out. How the hell do you ever get used to that?
Yeah, it's southwesterlies. Obviously, the southwesterlies come in, and as soon as it hits land, generally that's what causes it, isn't it? Or can cause it. So yeah, we get a lot of rain in certain places.
We've been joined by Jupiter. Good evening, Jupiter.
Hello. I've only just got here. I thought I'd make up for the one I fell asleep on. But what are you talking about?
But just random stuff, really. We've got a Welshman and a Scotsman on the panel now. We've got an English lady. And
we need an Irishman for a joke.
If we have anyone in the chat who's Irish, please come on so we can literally have
what nationality are you, Manny? I know Banksy's Iranian. What are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Indian.
You're Indian, yeah. I didn't think you were Iranian. So yeah, we just needed an Irishman, but we got an Indian stroke Irishman for the day.
See Base Welshman stream earlier. That was good. The little premiere. That was good. That was fun.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I set a premiere about 5:30 and forgot about it, and it was going on for 20 minutes before I got there. How do you think I got on in it?
I thought it was good. I'd like to see you do more of it, to be truthful.
I didn't
bring the old, not the same old debates, but to bring the old debating style back a little bit. I think. Yeah. You know,
I didn't think he was equipped to argue. He wasn't very knowledgeable on it.
Yes. Well, Chrissy Morris is just a lovely lefty, and he's another lister when you get talking to him. But the only difference is Chris is quite arrogant. He will over talk and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of Chrissy Morris. Yeah.
Well, I thought I'll put it up because it was funny. Because he didn't make much sense as far as I could see all the way through it. So stick it up there.
Yeah, no, it was good though. Didn't you see the amount of people though who turned up to say, "Get him off! He's useless." Not you, like.
Yeah.
Get him off. Yeah.
My eyes are so bad. I didn't even know I was debating him. I can't see the name, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And then about 3/4 of the way through the debate, someone mentioned his name. I thought, "Oh fuck, is it?" And I had to squint. Oh shit, yeah.
I'll tell you something. After he came onto this channel a few weeks ago, Chrissy Morris, and I asked him if he was associated with the BNP in the past. I don't know exactly what terminology I used, but he said absolutely not. But the very next day, somebody actually sent me a photograph of him campaigning with the BNP.
Wow.
And
no,
he hasn't come back
He
on.
was.
So I've not shared that evidence that was given to me. If he does,
Yeah.
I'll have him.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he
Jude.
was. He was. And his good friend, I think it's Richard Perry, is the bloke's name. Is the bloke who's quite rich, who runs around with the number plate for the BNP on it. Yeah. He's done a
Sure.
documentary on that.
But
So
what I don't understand is everybody makes mistakes. Everybody.
Just admit it, isn't it?
In this day and age, it's not difficult to own those mistakes, and for some reason he doesn't want to. If he thinks it's beyond him, I don't know. But if you say something and there's evidence against it online, then people are going to find it, right? That's what people do. People's full-time job is to find it.
Really think though, in today's day and age, it's easy to admit mistakes, because I think that things have gone wrong with our society where we're not forgiving people. I grew up with a family where, you know, or society where if somebody did something wrong, they showed penance, they showed repentance, and they became humble and apologized, and then you forgave them and gave them more of a chance to sort of like grow from their mistakes. Nowadays, I think they just want to go straight to the wick and cancel you and make you live in that mindset forever, even if you're young enough to change. Even if you're old, people change their mindsets all the time.
And also, people do not attack your ideas. They attack you personally, they attack your family, and they do all this other low level stuff that I just, each time I see or hear it, I go, what the hell is going on? People need to attack each other's politics and ideas, and not even attack them, discuss them, debate them. But if somebody is of the opposite opinion, that doesn't mean you need to go, I don't know what the terminology is, but you just say the most nastiest of things. And obviously now I know, because I've looked into why people do it. It's because they can't attack your ideas. They can't debate you on what you've said. So they have to, or they don't realize they're doing it consciously a lot of the time, but they have to then attack you personally, hoping to get some kind of reaction out of you, which of course should mean that you've won. But unfortunately, most people react negatively as well.
Well, unfortunately, I fell to that many times, and I openly admit that. First of all, I definitely got dragged into being race baited. And because I am pretty working class and pretty low down in the pecking order, I reverted to type. When people started slandering me, I slandered them back. When they were libelous to me, I was libelous back. I now realise it was pretty childish at times, but if I'm honest, Manny, on these channels, I don't regret it. I don't regret it, because I think some people would have took more of an advantage if I hadn't, because when I look at the obsession that some of these nutcases have got with certain individuals, I wish I'd been as smart as Base Welshman, though. I do. He saw it. I think he was probably the first one to see it, called it very early and left. He just stopped participating. I wish I'd sort of like followed suit. But, other people were quicker off the mark than I was, But I'm not going to make out I'm perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to debate, discuss opinions, fallouts, agree, just all the simple things that humans have done to time after time. All this, like I said, all this internet beef, it goes on in some of the circles I'm involved in, and I'm literally just flabbergasted. People are live streaming their mental breakdowns and stuff, and you're thinking, do I really? No, I don't.
Yeah, you were very quick. You were very quick to move out of it. You was.
Sad, but there we are.
But it happens, and I think it's a learning curve, and I think, we're all different, and some people had more experience than others, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit like Raj in a way. I don't mind some of the banter. I don't mind some of the back and forth. I don't mind that. What I do mind is when they go into your personal life rather than sticking to the debate. Yeah.
Yeah, but because they know that affects you, that's why they do it.
Yeah.
And like you said, giving Raj as an example, someone who actively goes back and forth like a tennis player with volleys and fucking big forehand returns. You know, think about it. You know, he would be the last person I would give as an example of sort of, because it's just once again, it's just everything. What?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There is a part of me that is like Raj. I'd be a liar to deny it.
Yeah.
You know, there is a part
I know what you
of me
mean.
like that. Yeah. So.
But it doesn't do you any favors in the end, CJ.
No,
That's the problem.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It does. It really doesn't. Because the way that things have been propaganda, and don't get me wrong, I have been wrong on occasions, obviously, but I'm not wrong all the time. But the way that the propaganda machine has put it out there is as if I was some raving lunatic who just marched into the place and hated on black people, which of course is nuts to even suggest that. So, but that's for them to carry on doing.
what I find rather comical is when people try to call Jupiter racist when she's married to a Nigerian gentleman, has mixed race children with him, and then we're supposed to say no, Jupiter's racist.
Is Hector Nigerian or Kenyan? Sorry if I get it wrong, Hector. Sorry.
No, he's Nigerian. He's Nigerian.
Yeah, I said Nigerian. So there we are. Yeah, so he's Nigerian, and of course, Jupes is racist.
Although technically he's British because he has got a British passport.
Yeah.
You see, these people, they need you to do or say or admit that you're a racist, you're an Islamophobe, you're this, you're that, because they've already decided they cannot attack your logic. So they try to trigger you and make sure you end up in a certain box.
On several occasions I did get triggered though, man. And if I'm truthful, if I'm absolutely truthful, I did resort to saying some nasty stuff back. I always say it was always in defense, but that doesn't make what I said to some people correct. But it was no worse than what was said to me. So a lot of the time I would take out the white and put in the black, but nobody would ever see it that way because, of course, white people can't suffer racism. You know, the ethos, the way it goes at the moment.
Oh, look who's in the chat. We've been going back. Well, she's in the chat, not on the panel. Betty, Black Girl Problems. Now, Betty's been making some videos about you and Wendy recently. I've actually asked Betty to come on to the show next Monday. I want to interview Betty because Betty says some crazy things. But anyway, Betty had disappeared and she's come back and she's making videos about you and Wendy Jupiter.
Yeah, well, she's free to do that. She's free to do that. It's pathetic that she's honing in on two particular people, and you've got to ask why. Why is it only white people she's honing in on? But I would say she's free to do and please as she likes. I mean, it's all propaganda. She never puts any of her clips up in context or shows the whole context of a conversation. It's just pulling out the worst parts. And we could all do that. If I was to do that to Betty, they would have her in a straitjacket and locked in an asylum. So
are you saying that you think Betty might be racist?
Definitely.
No such thing as racism.
What is it then?
I just don't understand why everybody jumps to this word, mate. How can you just not like somebody for the colour of the skin and it's just an opinion? It's just something you don't like. I don't like people that wear yellow shirts. Does that make me yellow shirtism?
I've said that exactly what you just said in the past, and I've been attacked for it because for me, anyone that's racist is just misled. They're not quite there because, like you say, these type of things can only be taught, right? You're not born racist, so obviously things happens in your life that you end up thinking a certain way.
No, mate. So they're no less anything or whatever. Some people just develop and don't like eating meat, so they turn vegan. Some people might just develop and go, do you know what? I don't like black people, or I don't like brown people, or I don't like fucking Eskimos. Do you know what I mean? It might just be something that happens. And why should they not be entitled to feel like that? If they don't like puffs or gays or whatever, then so what? Who cares?
Yeah. I don't like vegetarians. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I hate vegetarians as well. They're fucking idiots. But I hate how you have to get labelled as a thing just because you say or feel a certain way about someone or something. Makes no sense.
Well, when you said someone doesn't eat meat because it doesn't agree with them and all that, and you said they become vegan, I just thought weirdo.
Jupiter, aren't you a vegetarian?
No. I don't eat a lot of meat, but I'm not a vegetarian. No.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else that we want to discuss? Anything that we want to share?
Well, I was going to maybe suggest.
Can we talk about, seeing as you did bring up Nigeria, I've seen a couple of other videos today with some other YouTubers of the woman who's 21 and has been killed in Nigeria.
The Christian lady.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
You can't pay that.
So I mean, I've seen the horrific video on Speaker's Corner online. I can probably show a still from it. I think. Can you? That put it on there, but look, the rumors are that she's Christian. A Muslim chap wanted to date her, she refused, and then he did label her as whatever the terminology is, that she disrespected the Muslim prophet, and as a consequence, that happened. I don't know if that's true. That's what I've come across. Of course, that happens a lot in places like Pakistan, where a Hindu or Christian woman refuses the advances of a Muslim chap, and then the Muslim chap takes revenge by, saying that the lady did X, Y, and Z against the prophet, and then everybody comes out and tries to kill that person, and usually they're successful.
I've not heard that said. I've heard that what it was that she went to university. This comes from somebody that was in the class with her, by the way, on another live stream. Apparently they were at the same university. There was to be a debate coming up within a WhatsApp group it must have been to do with religion, and she said Jesus had got her through the exams, and they said that was blasphemy.
Oh, I see. There you go. That seems a bit more believable than what I've heard. This is a still, a very sorry picture. I can't play the video for obvious reasons, but if you want to go watch that video, you can do. Speakers Corner Online is an 18+ website, so bear that in mind. But I don't think there's anybody under 18 listening.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you fancy changing the subject, something a bit lighter? Mostly something you don't normally talk about, but it is very current and it's very interesting if you look into it.
Sure.
The Amber Turds Johnny Depp trial in America.
Oh, I'll be watching that, mate. It's fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome. If you haven't watched it, you don't really understand what's going on. But if you watch it and you just keep an eye on it for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I've been hearing bits and pieces.
Yeah, well, basically, she made, as Johnny Depp said, a fecal delivery on my side of the bed.
Well, no, that's disgusting.
He described it as a fecal delivery. I honestly, it was crazy. And the reason why we found out, he was going to clear his stuff out, and like his housekeeper and all that. So you don't want to go back, John. He goes, why is that? And he goes, I need to get my stuff because she's in Coca-Cola and she's away, and I can get all my stuff and just sort of clear out. And he said, no, you can't go back. He goes, why? He goes, you are. He goes, what the fuck? He said, yeah, there's a shit on your bed. And she blamed it on the corgis. She blamed it on the corgis. What's hilarious is like, I've seen the footage. You can Google it. It's available. That ain't a corgi shit. That ain't a corgi shit. That's a human shit. And it's really like, it's really oily and sort of like,
Oh no!
and as it turns out, she drinks like fucking bottles of red wine a day and everything. And she, obviously, when you don't eat and you drink 2 bottles of wine a day, that's your shits.
No, I mean, you can just tell she's lying through her teeth. Everything she's saying, she's fucking lying.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Manny, but she literally cut the tip of his finger off. She threw a bottle of Jack Daniels or vodka at him. I can't remember which one it was, but she's punched him. She's admitted punching him, or she's admitted to hitting him, not punching him. I don't know what my fist was doing at the time, but I definitely didn't punch him. No, I just hit him. She got hit. She said, yes, I hit him, but I didn't punch him, in a sentence.
She's everything I despise about the toxic nature of females today.
Yeah. She was known as the Predator Me Too victim before even Johnny Depp. Like, she was known as that woman.
It's sad because I think she is the kind of mindset or lady that has contributed to the divisions between male and females in society.
Well, the public, I don't know if you know, the public love Johnny now, because I know it sounds crazy, because people have been watching the case on YouTube and other social media, and they're all actually seeing what's going on, and people are commentating on it, like lawyers, etc., and they're all commentating on the evidence given, and everyone, she's admitted assault, right? Where she's just claimed assault. She's claiming that he assaulted her, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence at all of it. Right? It's just her word. Everyone else is saying, no, Johnny. And all recordings, Johnny saying, like, arguing. And then all of a sudden, she says to me, he said, you don't know what it's like to be punched. And she presented that as evidence. She was secretly recording him. And they were arguing. And literally, she said something to him. He said, shut the fuck up. You don't know what it's like to be punched. Because meaning, you always punch me. And I never punch you. I never fucking touch you.
Yeah.
So she's secretly recording him on multiple occasions as well. And he storms out the flat and stuff. Get away from me. He leaves. Because he doesn't want to be there. Because, she's beating him up, basically. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Toxic.
I think that goes on a lot more than people think it does, though. I think, especially now in society where women seem to have all the rights.
Well, it's the Me Too, see. It's the Me Too. It cost him so much money because, obviously, pirates, sex and all that. It's destroyed his career because obviously at that time it was so toxic, wasn't it? With the Harvey Weinstein and all that. And this is when all this happened. And he was thrown out. But I don't know what video you've got lined up there. How long is it, Manny?
26 seconds.
Oh, right. It's a short one then. Yeah, play it then. I've got one for you to play. It's really good. And I'll tell you about it in a minute for you. Yeah.
A few things about Coachella and then the fecal delivery and saying that it was the dogs. And I could not agree with her. I'd lived with those dogs. I picked up their fun. It was not the dogs.
It's funny, isn't it? It's just crazy. But,
shit happens.
Shit definitely happens. But I put a clip in the back chat there, and what's funny and really interesting about that is that all of Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriends have all spoken up and said what a gentleman he is. For whatever reason they split up. It wasn't because of abuse. So we own a Ryder, Kate Moss, Vanessa Paradis. They've all come out and basically said Johnny's a good guy, right? Basically, and what happened was Amber Heard was on the stand the other day. She was talking about an argument, and it's in this one now. I don't know if you put it in the chat now. She brought up Kate Moss, and because she's brought up Kate Moss, do you know what that means? Well, you'll see the lawyer do a fist pump with Johnny Depp as soon as she mentioned Kate Moss. That means they can bring Kate Moss now forward to to give testimony, and yeah, and that's what that she fucked up by saying Kate Moss's name. Basically, she would have been advised not to say Kate Moss's name, because as soon as she mentions someone else's name, they can then sort of like that's what it was, and that's the clincher. It's like a 2-minute clip, but you'll see the lawyer and Johnny Depp think fucking great that she said Kate Moss.
Shall I play this?
Yeah, it's great.
I said, but I was screaming at him because he threw this can at me and everything else that had happened. And when I did that, he bolted up the stairs. And, you know, there's only, I mean, he was up the first flight of stairs. Again, I'm on the mezzanine, which is in between 2 flights of stairs. He bolted up the steps. And I don't know how he managed to get his hands in my hair so fast, but he had his hand on the back.
Can you make it bigger?
My hair.
Can you make it bigger, Manny? Just because it's the small screen there has got Johnny Depp and the lawyer there.
Hit me in the face with this cast he had. I just remember this brief struggle we had before kind of break away. Whitney, my sister.
So look at the small screen in a minute when they say Kate Moss.
She just threw herself like in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and I swung at him. And all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him. Square in the face. He didn't push my sister down the stairs. And all my time of being in that relationship to that point, hadn't even landed one on Johnny.
Oh, it's so cliche, isn't it?
Sorry. Yeah, it's all fake tears as well. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah,
like it's really
looks like she's acting. It doesn't look real.
No, it's not.
She's a shite actress as well.
But that lawyer. Sorry, one more thing. That lawyer was just like, wow, that's it. Her lawyers must be just like thinking, fuck. I'd love to have a camera on her lawyers. Would have been
her lawyers
as
are
well.
terrible, man. They're shite lawyers.
Yeah, they are.
Here, Jib, see what you're saying, man. I go right about this, some kind of division with men and women, right? This pisses me off as well. Because, and see if you look at YouTube as an example, and you can see in a lot of chats, the minute women are in chats and they give it the big one to guys or whatever or something else, and as soon as a guy retaliates and says something back to them, the rest of the chat will jump on and go, oh, you can't talk to a woman like that. No, you don't speak to women. You don't say that to women and blah, blah, blah. So why should you be allowed to be these little precious angels of fairy dust that can do whatever the fuck you want and get away with it? Like, I'm not saying, obviously, in real life, face-to-face and physical, just because a lassie gives you shit, you're not going to obviously fucking crack your head on her because there's a big difference there. But if she's going to give it the big one on a chat or whatever, then she shouldn't be immune to getting retaliation.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that part of British culture is that you go punch for punch verbally. I think that's just our arguments are. So And I've argued this a lot, whether it's males, females, whether it's blacks, whites, whatever. People will always, if you get an insult, say I was to say to you, look at the state of your face, you're going to come back on something about the way I look. If I go for you for your finances, you're going to come back on my finances. If I talk about your job, you're going to talk about my job. It's the way that British culture is. And people are trying so hard to change a system of or a society, rather, because it's not a system, it hasn't been put into place, it's evolved naturally. People are trying so hard to change everybody that's why there's so much mass confusion. And I would agree with you, either a woman needs to work out whether she wants to consider herself equal in all forms, which I don't agree with. Actually, I believe that they should be given equal respect and equal opportunity, but not equal outcome. I don't like these short lists that you get for females. I don't like all this. I mean, it was a joke actually when Labour did a short list and then gave it to a transgender. But hey ho. But I don't like short lists of females. I don't like it when they drop the standards to allow a female into, say, a special unit in the army because they want to get the first female there. I don't like none of that. As a female myself, I think it should be earned. If I want to play in a man's world, I should be equal to the man's world. But a lot of people don't like that. Yeah, they don't. But me myself, I think that men, as long as the man's not on the attack, if it's defense, why shouldn't you be able to defend yourself if a woman's screaming at you like a banshee? You should be able to. It's not like you're hitting her.
No, exactly. But so many people jump on it and go, "Oh, you don't talk to women like that. You don't say." I've seen it so many times in the last week or two, and I'm just like, why? Why are they special? Why do they just get away with and say whatever they want? It's fucking madness.
Yeah, online though, I wouldn't take anything that on a lot of channels, especially around Speaker's Corner, the regulars that go around, because most people are hypocritical, including myself to a degree. Most people are hypocritical, and it will depend on who they like, yeah, or what you or what they believe you represent without even finding out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, unless we have anything else to discuss, I think I may end the stream here. There's going to be a Monday show every single Monday. Me and Banksy will continue our Wednesday podcast every Wednesday as well at 8 o'clock. And then Friday, starting new, Banksy is going to do the Friday show, which is literally going to be mayhem. Now, we are also looking to start a further show, but the host of that show is a bit of a surprise. Can't mention anything yet. It's going to be interesting, shall we say. Very interesting. So Mr. Hung, Mr. Welshman, and Mrs. Affiliated, any final thoughts from you, my beautiful people?
Yes, I take offence to that. I actually identify as a woman for the last 3 minutes and the next 2 minutes, so not Mr. Hung, Mrs. Hung.
Anybody else offended at what I've just called them?
Yeah, I'm offended that he identifies as a woman and knows what a woman is when I'm not allowed to say that I'm a woman because the real women don't exist anymore.
Where are we going now? Because I was just getting fucking warmed up, man. Manny, fuck's sake, it's just too short.
Well, I can carry on if you want. If you guys want to stay on, I'll be fine. I'll be happy to continue the stream. It's entirely up to you.
Yes, we're on to midnight trips. Here we go.
I don't mind staying for a little while longer, but it's up to you guys.
No, it's up to you, Manny boy. Do you need to go and
if
fucking
everyone
do...
else is going to leave, I'm going to leave with them. I'm not going to do it on my own.
It's all right for me. I mean, I can carry on with my things anyway. I can just turn my camera off so I can pull faces at you, and we can carry on. So it's all good. It's up to you.
The chat want you to stay, Manny boy.
Well, I'll be around. I'll be listening, participating, but I will turn my camera off because otherwise you're going to have to put up with me walking around naked.
Me and Big Gypzoid and Welshie will run the show.
Yeah, that's good.
Can you play
Hassan anyway? I thought it was advertised with Hassan.
Hassan, unfortunately, had to cancel last minute, literally last minute. He's got a couple of. I spoke to him briefly. He is dealing with something at the moment, so that's all I can say at the moment. But I will be speaking to him again, and hopefully we'll reschedule and have him back on.
Yeah. Before you go, Manny, you're not going to go anyway. But do you fancy playing a little video, a funny video? You'll like it.
Why not?
Alliance. Let's see if I can find it.
Jupiter, how many
carry on.
genders are there?
Oh, I don't know. Last I say there's 2.
Thank you. There we go. End of discussion. End of discussion. End of normal, adult, educated discussion.
Okay.
Can you define a woman, Jupiter?
Well, it's the opposite sex to a male. So what is a woman? It's somebody that's born with the biological parts to give birth naturally. Yeah, in my opinion. There you go.
There you go. In the back chat it is, mate.
Got it. Okay.
It's funny. You'll love it, you will. It's a really funny guy that does a lot of satire. Some people might know him. Not a lot of people won't. But the ones that know him will appreciate his content. It's very funny. Right. And it might give us a subject change, and he gets away with it because of the way he says it. It's satire.
Manny, do you like Danny Shine?
Who's Danny Shine? Do I know him?
What?
Yeah, you know Danny Shine.
I'm really bad with names, so
Danny the Jew. On the bike, loud inhaler.
I've seen his name come across. I think Andy and a few others mentioned him on Telegram, right?
What the fuck? He doesn't know Danny Shine.
Well, the social experimentalist on YouTube. You know Danny Shine. Okay, play this video. Open up another page and have a look at that when you play. Oh no, this is a good. You'll love this video. Just play this and then you'll have a look now and now.
I really released some safety data on life jackets. It's pretty shocking, to say the least. It's been 1.5 years of us coercing you into wearing life jackets through mandates and threats of unemployment and being banned from participating in society, as well as constant pressure to put on additional life jackets for your protection, all while reassuring you that life jackets are safe and effective. So effective that you can still drown while wearing one, and so safe that we've refused to release the safety data until now. Here's what's going on. After ignoring a Freedom of Information Act request to release safety and effectiveness data on life jackets, the Flotation Device Administration requested 75 years to release the 400,000 pages of docs to the public. Why would they request so long? Probably because they had nothing to hide. So they requested 3/4 of a century to reveal that which they didn't need to hide, but definitely really wanted to. But in January of this year, a judge ordered the Flotation Device Administration to release the documents much faster than that. Specifically, the documents pertaining to their approval of life jackets. Specifically, the judge ordered them to release 10,000 pages on March 1st. We're about to go into those. And another 10,000 pages on April 1st. And 80,000 pages on May 2nd. 80,000 pages on June 1st. And another 80,000 pages on July 1st. 70,000 pages on August 1st. And then 55,000 pages per month on the first business day of each month after that. This is all after the first 500 pages were ordered to be released back in November of 2021. So gosh, what do the release pages reveal about safety data? Now that we pretend the Nuremberg Code doesn't exist and life jackets have been aggressively pushed for 1.5 years with over $37 billion in sales. Well, the first 500 pages from November didn't reveal much, just 1,200 deaths within 90 days of people putting life jackets on. But we should note those 1,200 people who died from putting life jackets on were very well protected from drowning. They better be grateful for our product. And moving on to the recent 10,000 pages of safety information on life jackets that the Flotation Device Administration didn't want to reveal, but were forced to reveal by a court. Now, again, they didn't show much. Just things like 1,246 medical conditions that occurred after the administering of life jackets, including inflammation of the heart, inflammation of the brain, facial paralysis, fetal distress syndrome, tachycardia, temporal lobe epilepsy, multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, foaming at the mouth. Is that the same as rabies? Death neonatal, cardiogenic shock, cardiac arrest, cardiac failure, brainstem embolism, brainstem thrombosis, and a lot of others that I don't really know how to pronounce, so I don't think they count. And I also wish the Flotation Device Administration was able to keep them hidden. Safe and effective life jackets, ladies and gentlemen. But the good news is those who have been injured or killed by life jackets are prohibited from suing the manufacturers. So they don't really matter to us. Now, some experts say these revealings should put an immediate end to life jackets. But the experts who say that aren't on the payroll of the Flotation Device Administration or the life jacket manufacturers. So they're not really qualified to have an opinion here because they don't really get the full picture. And get this, some conspiracy theorists think these revealings are newsworthy and wonder why there's no mainstream media coverage of them. Well, there's a very simple explanation. I mean, you just kind of think about it and you consider everything and look over there, it's World War III. Thank God for Russia. Plus, there's this consideration.
Friday night on Aaron Burnett Out Front. Brought to you.
So that was good. That was funny. So Danny Shine is a chap who does the Speaker's Corner stuff, and he tells people not to have children and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I'm
very.
I'm supposed to know him, like.
I'm very bad with names. I'm just one of those people that don't
He
matter.
used to be at the corner for a little while, Manny.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I remember watching him actually.
Yeah,
Danny was funny as fuck.
Yeah, he is funny, Danny. That guy did a good thing on the Flotation Device Association, didn't he?
Yes, very, very informative. That's very clever comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how you beat YouTube.
Yes.
He done one on that Lynn Thomas, the man dressed in a woman's outfit, just swimming, and he done it's hilarious, like 3 million views that one's got. But yeah, funny because he's literally in a leotard and he's showing his meat and two and everything. He's just like sticking out. Yeah, and he's so fucking based. This guy, he's ginger with long hair with muscles. I'll put it in the back. It's up to you. It's just fucking carnage. It's just like carnage. It's so cringeable. You want to look away. It's like watching Biden. You know, with Biden with kids.
Oh,
it's like you know when you want to watch it and you're thinking, oh no, I don't want to watch this. Why do I want to watch Biden with kids? You know, because you look at it and it's like, oh no. It's like watching him in his leotard. It's like, oh no.
Oh God. So, what should we have a discussion about?
Well, the vaccines are a subject you can actually talk about now. You can talk about it now, can you? You can.
That's so old news, man.
I know.
I think everyone's woken up to them anyway, aren't they?
A lot of normies have woken up like for no more. Yeah, that's a fucking given. No more jabs anyway. Wherever they were before, they all support the mainstream narrative at the moment, though. So it's not like they've learned anything.
What's your theory on this monkeypox and the hepatitis C that's come out of nowhere?
Okay, so my theory on this, and it's from a couple of sources, and made a lot of sense to me. So what it is, the theory, and it's from the British Medical Association, I believe, the one is a theory, is that it's never happened before where children, especially young children, have been protected from what they were not protected from in the past. Now, obviously, that would be just getting out and about, meeting new people, etc., and being mollycoddled. And they think their theory is that young people are catching it. Young babies like pre-2s, like pre-3s are catching it. They're all under 5, I think they are. They're like, really quite young, a lot of them. They think that it could be to do with that, which sort of makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it's quite scary when you look at how much it's jumped percentage-wise.
Yeah, well, it's never happened before. But then what's never happened before? Kung flu never happened before. They're saying it's nothing to do with Kung flu. I don't think there is any evidence that it is to do with Kung flu. They're not jabbed, so it's not the jib jab. So what's changed? And basically behaviours have changed.
Yeah,
The way
I can see that might be right. Yeah. And have you seen the monkeypox one?
Well, we all know why that is.
Yeah, no one knows. And they say that normally, it would be sort of like an African disease, but the 4 people that have got it have no connection to Africa at all.
Yeah, we can catch it, can't it?
It's weird. It's just come out.
Could I actually share a video with you guys, which is related to what we're talking about? Because I don't know if you guys realize behind the scenes, the World Health Organization have managed to get all the countries to sign a pact. So this gentleman here kind of discusses it in an understandable way what that pact is.
It's the treaty, isn't it?
Sent me a text message. The next World Health Organization Assembly in Geneva, May 22 to 28, that's this year in a week, will vote to change the World Health Organization's international health regulations from recommendations to mandatory on member nations.
Yep.
Australia is a member. If the vote is successful, Australia will then be faced with passing legislation through federal parliament to make it law. So they can't do anything without passing it through our federal parliament, okay, because our constitution still prevails. The Liberal Nationals have already expressed support, so expect our globalist uniparty, that's the Liberals, the Nationals and the Labor, they all work together, to wave these measures through. Only one nation will be in opposition. World Health Organization regulations, just imagine that, this international body outside our country can make regulations, are a comprehensive guidebook to implement worse restrictions than Australia suffered during COVID-19, including compulsory testing, compulsory arrest and transport to quarantine centres, and forced vaccinations. This will keep going as long as the UN's World Health Organization requires, with no appeal, no transparency, no exceptions. The police and armed forces have already demonstrated their support for these measures during COVID. One Nation strongly opposes the ceding of our sovereignty
in
to unelected...
In a nutshell, basically, all countries, including ours, have signed up, which in the next time there's going to be a pandemic.
Pandemic.
Yeah, they're allowed to enter our homes, kidnap us, take us to detention centres, and basically kill us.
Yeah, so it's not British law now. So we're controlled by the WHO, right? So we're controlled by them. So whatever they say rules. So the responsibility leaves our government and goes away from our government. So that's another.
Do you know who the 2 biggest donors to the World Health Organization is? It's the Chinese government and Bill Gates.
I was going to say Bill.
Yeah, it does surprise me.
So that's where we are. We're at 11:58. That's how late it is. So the next time they release whatever they're going to release, that's exactly what they're planning to do to us. Okay, so Mandy's saying that the pact is due to be signed August 24. Okay. I thought they had already signed up to it. I may be wrong. I thought I had read that they had signed it, but we'll see.
Well, in the UK?
Yeah.
No, I think it's going through now.
Right.
It's going through end of the month, I believe.
I see.
I'm not 100%. But yeah, I think it's end of the month.
Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, another video to share with you guys. This is a bit of a change of topic as well.
Mm-hmm.
And surveilled by the government. And sometimes it takes far
I
too
jump
long
off for a minute, mate.
to clear those matters up.
May I say one little reported facet of my case is one of the federal agents involved in one of the operations against me said that they intended to plant child porn in my husband's computer. This is the FBI. There's been a case that's currently in litigation, unrelated, in which an FBI agent has testified that they did that. They have done that. It was not accomplished in my case. I guess the curtain was drawn on that facet of the operation prior to them doing it. But imagine how you ever get out of that. They knew we had a young daughter at home and had allegedly conspired to do that.
Well, there you go. The police setting people up. And the other thing about Bill Gates is, sorry?
FBI, not the police.
Yeah, sorry, FBI. The other thing about Bill Gates, just going back to him, I've read that, I can't remember, was it that his father established Planned Parenthood? Yeah. Or was it that his father was the head of Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, his father had something to do with Planned Parenthood, and he was a eugenicist as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, crazy. Absolutely terrible.
It's like everything fits in place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
His father definitely did have something to do with Planned Parenthood, though. He either set it up originally, or he was like one of the founder. Something to do with it.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, guys. I think I'm going to close it there.
Okay.
Any closing thoughts from two of my favorite people on this panel?
Just keep
for me,
up, keep your eyes open. I think that things are probably going to get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And question everything.
Indeed. Yeah. I think we do need to question everything, and I think that the gentleman that was on, Mr. Hunt, he said something very sensible in the sense that he's a free thinker. He makes his own mind up, and he tries to keep it as balanced as possible. And I think that's very wise words. Even I'm guilty of not being balanced all the time, and I think I need to practice on that as well.
Agreed. It was for me as well.
Excellent. Okay. All right.
Nice one.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers, man.
I'll speak to you soon, guys. Take care. So just to let everybody know, this is going to be a regular Monday show. I was supposed to be interviewing Hassan today. Unfortunately, Hassan had to go away and sort a few things out. I will get Hassan on. I promise you that. Next week, we shall go. We shall have Betty on. So Betty's going to come on next week. And on Wednesday, me and Banksy are back to doing the Wednesday podcast. And on Friday, Banksy is going to host a whole new show. And then hopefully by June, I've been told, there's going to be a brand new show with a brand new host. Who that is, we do not know. We may not know until the actual day. Thank you, everyone, for joining and commenting and the rest of that lovely stuff. See you.
And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom?